cost is not only thing which client look for. In my first job, people used to tell me कि computer मिला है तो कुछ भी paper काला करके देना नहीं है. You are an engineer, use your brains. When we start any project, the first stage come as a process architectural. Without process architect, we cannot move a single stage.
Hi everyone, we are here today again on CopperPod with Rubiru with Rupali, and we are going to interview Krunal Panchal. He owns Vox Vita, which is in inverted commas a community of excellence into pharmaceutical industry, a new venture absolutely to understand that how this can be a humongous scope for the students of architecture. And for those who are interested and love to be a part of project management and understanding a tangent and an allied field that architects can pursue. We are here today with a wonderful, wonderful person. I'm sure this podcast will give you a very clear understanding about not only what Krunal has been doing, but also as the head of the organization, the way he has holistically groomed his team to achieve success. So with a beginning in 2019 as a proprietary firm, he has shooted and elevated himself to a private organization in just 2 years span of time. Let's meet him. Welcome Krunal on this podcast. The podcast name is Rubiru with Rupali, and we are here having a discussion with you today. So, as I have introduced you as a person of, wearing many hats, but in an industry which is not really known to architecture. The pharmaceutical industry and the scope that it offers to the students is what we are going to understand now. I would like to know, Krunal, how did you begin? Because आपने इतने young age में जो प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी वोक्स वीटा के नाम से खोली है, इट रिक्वायर्स अ लॉट ऑफ perseverance and understanding in depth of this. I'm sure this must be your passionate field. I would like to know how you began. आपने क्या कैसे शुरुआत की and 2019 से लेके अब तक का आपकी जर्नी कैसी रही?
So firstly, thank you so much for giving me opportunity to join this session and to share my personal experience. So, when we started this company, that time we were very, new person. We doesn't know anything about the business or industry or anything. We just used to know like what we know and what we have to serve. So in 2019, we started with the basic aim of serving pharmaceutical industry or a pharmaceutical fraternity. Okay. The only intention to start this business is to provide the medicine very accessible and affordable to every individual person, because I used to work for Africa market, and there I have learned that many people are dying of diarrhea or malaria or very very small disease, wherein in India there is no any effect or any hamper of this such disease, but in people in Africa they are dying of such a small things, such a small disease. So when we started a business, okay, people in industry, they used to charge us like anything for setting up the project or for setting up a plant or a trading of equipment. So we decided that we will provide our services at a very bare minimum cost. Okay, but again, cost is not only thing which client look for. Okay, initially they look for your quality of a services, your experience, your references. It is same like once you graduate from the industry, you apply for a job and company asks how much experience do you have. So same thing people ask that even if they know that you are a new company, you have started in 2019, and they ask how many projects you have executed. Okay, However, there were very few people, they trusted us, they trusted our caliber, they trusted our experience, and, they have given us opportunity for a small task, In some instance, they have taken our consultancy service to how to improvise their existing plant, or, in some instance, they asked us that how we can, design our facility to cater the international standard like a US FDA
Okay.
or PICS.
So, as far as I understand, you give them a consultation
Yes.
in the entire designing of the plant.
Entire designing of the project. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, fantastic.
So we started with the providing, initially we started with the trading of machinery. Okay, and while, when any new pharmaceutical company, they wanted to set up a plant, first thing they look for is a machinery. So that was a very easy and accessible point where, we used to leverage our other, services. Like, by selling equipment, we used to tell them, sir, if you are planning to set up a new plant, why you cannot check our other services, that is the engineering consultancy services. And our major market was Middle East and North Africa.
Fantastic.
And in this market, people are used to, they are used to getting a service of turnkey. Wherein, see, in India, we have an ample of knowledge. We have a good amount of people who know about industry. We have a people who has done the project. But in this country, they don't have a people. They don't have a team wherein, independently they can set up an entire project.
Right. So, basically, you are combining with different consultants as required for giving your consultancy to the people, to the clients. Right. So, you must have collaborated with architects, you must have collaborated with other experts from hospital industry.
Yes, we do. So basically, when we start any project, the first stage come as a process architectural. Okay, that is the most important and vital part of any project. Okay, so let's say now you are a investor and you wanted to set up a pharmaceutical project or a hospital. So firstly, what we have to do a site master planning. Okay, let's say you have a land of a 4 acre and in which you wanted to set up let's say a 150 bed hospital. Okay, so in terms of hospital, like when we go to hospital, the thing which comes in our mind, that we start putting on a paper, and the process architect know how one hospital or pharmaceutical facility run. So irrespective to the operation, how will be the proximity, the connection of a one point with the other point, like let's say for a hospital, the most important thing is when any accident happen, that received area, so that should be very much accessible, that should be very open. So this thing process architect help us to design, and once they plot a site master layout, okay, then our process engineering team come and they started doing the detailed engineering.
Wonderful.
So without process architect, we cannot move a single stage, because the process architect, they have a knowledge of a structural design.
Yes.
Because their academic is also as good as civil engineering. They have studied most of the concept and subject of civil engineering. So they have a knowledge of complete civil engineering things.
So designing and engineering combined together,
Yes.
you can get under you and try to give the best possible option.
Right.
I must tell the young students over here that this field, which possibly most of you must not be knowing, is a very aspiring field and very interesting field where young aspiring architects and interns get a fabulous opportunity to work with their creative talents. I must give you example of Harshil, who is my student and alumni now and is working with you in your company. I would like to know how Harshil, when he joined you, how did you and him together felt that architecture and pharmaceutical or your consultancy could be really tight? Can you just give some example?
So yeah, so when I have taken interview of Harshil, that time I was looking for a mechanical designer, not for architect.
Okay.
Okay. So I was discussing with the Sanjeevani ma'am. She told me that Harshil is a very good guy and he has a good knowledge. So
Yes, I
said,
would just like
yes.
to interrupt here for students who have heard the name of Sanjeevani Aryamane is an architect, and she is into hospital industry, designing hospitals. She's working with HOSMAC, and she's a very integral part of Vox Vita also.
And
Yes.
now she has started her own company on the name of Everearth Architects.
Yes. And she's a very dear friend and a close colleague of mine. And we are a very thick family. So, kahin na kahin se to ek dusre ko. And this is how
Closely
Harshil,
connected.
Harshil came to you.
Yes,
Right.
yes. So we were in need for one designer for this National Drug Authority project. Okay, and one friend of mine, he has done a similar type of project. Okay, so he was working with some other company. So he was a freelancer for us. Okay, and I told him that we have a very new guy, a very new student, and he doesn't know anything about pharma or hospital. You have to groom him and you have to make him ready within 3 months, so that after 3 months, he can start giving us output. Okay, so he said, okay, Krunal, I will take that challenge. And then instead of coming here in this office, he used to sit in his home. Okay, so out of like Monday to Saturday, he used to come only one day in our office.
Okay.
And that day, the other guy used to go in his office because he had a work from home thing. Again, one day he has to go to his office. So that day he used to come to our office and he used to tell what he has learned.
Yeah.
So initially, the thing was little difficult for him because he never worked in such environment, whether it is office or under someone. So, but I must say Harshil is a very, very, very intelligent student and very obedient person. Okay, so when we started grooming him, it was very adaptive. He was from very first day, like he was very curious about the project. He was very curious about the industry, and he used to ask many questions and he used to listen very carefully. I must say he's a very good listener.
Yes.
He speak very few words. Okay, and unless it is required, he will never ask. So he is a good listener. And I think he worked under Subhash for 3 months, and after 3 months, he acted as a project manager,
Fantastic.
not as a process architect.
Okay.
So I will give you a brief in one project. The role of Harshil was to do the site master layout. Okay, just planning. Planning of R&D lab, planning of a micro lab, planning of a vaccine lab. Okay, because it was a R&D building project, 11 floor building. Okay, so then after that was a very big project. Okay, and as you know, we are a team of very few people. So I told Harshil that your work is started from here and now you have to lead this project. So in one project, there are many verticals or many disciplines come, like HVAC system, modular clean room, electrical, plant automation, gas piping, and many other things. So Harshil was a single point of contact with all this team. He used to explain them about the requirement, and then he used to monitor their work, and then he used to give us the feedback कि सर आज ये discussion हुआ, ऐसे ऐसे project में हुआ. And till now date, he is the only person. If I wanted to take any update, I call him, Harshil इसका क्या status है, and everything he has in his brain. वो कभी नहीं बोलता कि सर मुझे system देख के बोलना पड़ेगा.
Fantastic. Well, Harshil, this is a pat on my back also, huh?
Yeah.
All this, what Krunal is saying, I'm already getting goosebumps. So hats off to you. Yeah, Krunal. And I remember you telling me about Harshal handling a project in Egypt or
No,
uh,
in the Czech Republic.
in Czech Republic, Europe, yeah.
Yeah.
And that
That
was
is
a
a
time,
pharmaceutical project.
yeah, that was a pharmaceutical project, and you were, I think, looking at bylaws and some municipal constraints. Was it the same
Yes.
project?
No. Okay, yeah. So that project is for Palghar only. So in Palghar, we are working on one project for one of the our client, wherein this client wanted to set up a project for a pharma, API, and nutraceutical in the same plot in MIDC, Tarapur MIDC. So, because as per our previous experience, we have done project in overseas. So, personally, I didn't had any knowledge, or I was not having any knowledge about this MIDC guidelines, this DCP or DCPR,
Yes.
what they follow. So that time, uh, the client started talking about the guidelines of DCP, MIDC and all. So Harshil, he had read this thing in his academic, and he was telling कि नहीं sir ये guideline में इतना नहीं ऐसा है, building height limit ये है वो है. Then client told him कि अभी guideline का revision चल रहा है, and I got the news from inside that it is going to update. Then after Harshil again taken that updated revision version, and then he has studied that thing, entire thing, which personally I will never read. So he read that book for 2 days, and then he has prepared a layout as per that. No, so that was very surprising thing for me that the student is a very new guy. Not even 1 year he has completed, and he is taking this project as a leader. Not as a draftsman. So in industry, what people misconcept that the role of architect is a drafting. Okay, so I told on a very first day to Harshil that Harshil, you are not draftsman, you are an engineer or you are an architect. So you have to use your brain, before drafting anything. In my first job, people used to tell me कि computer मिला है तो कुछ भी paper काला करके देना नहीं है. You are an engineer, use your brain. So same thing I used to tell to Harshil कि अपना brain use करो और उस हिसाब से काम करो. And in this project, he proved me that he has used his 100% brain, and he has developed the plot layout. Client has appreciated this knowledge like anything. They told us that from this point onwards, we will work with you for the entire project.
Fantastic. It is, you won't imagine, as tutors, as mentors, as academicians, how much your words mean and how much the students will understand what you are saying, because this confidence is required to come in interns and young architects, and they should also know that it is a huge responsibility that they go with to any firm when they come, Exactly. And this is when we say architecture is a holistic profession, that shows that you have to look at all aspects, how you have grown. I must say, Krunal, that one amazing fact that I learned from you is, more than the boss of the organization, you are an excellent friend, you are an excellent mentor. You are the person who wants to see your team grow. And you have been looking at opportunities where they are pushed or they face the clients with you. Nobody really goes ahead to give. There are very few people who try and believe in their team and try to put them with. It is amazing. You are an excellent mentor, and I can see a huge scope for students when under your firm, definitely. There are certain national as well as international projects that you are.
Yeah, so at this moment, I think in this financial year, we are doing, I think, 5 to 6 international projects. So first time since the inception of the company, we have done a European project that is for the Czech Republic. In Prague, we are setting up a nutraceutical project, and we are doing complete engineering and a turnkey of this project. And again, for this project, Harshil is working as a chief designer. Okay, and in addition to the designing, he is also taking care of the other procurement related thing and a project management related thing. This is one project. Second project we are doing in Dubai, that is for animal house.
Okay.
Okay, so again, animal house we are doing for the first time. And first project, Europe for the first time. Another new project we have received from Southeast Asia, that is from Singapore,
Okay.
and that is for a hemodialysis project. Okay, a pilot scale hemodialysis project. Then Lebanon, we are working for the biggest project in Lebanon. So our client is setting up a biggest project in Lebanon, and again we are helping them for supply of equipment and supply of some modular clean room panel or some HVAC related thing. I think Iraq, we are doing one project that is also a very big project, 14,000 square meter plot they have, and we are building 4 different buildings for a different application.
Wonderful.
And yes, the ongoing project, which is like ongoing from last year, that is a government project, our first government project, that is for National Drug Authority Uganda. That is a lab building. It's a lab building. Yeah.
Great. Amazing. I really wish you humongous success in this, especially for people like you who love to take your team together. You can create wonders, I'm sure. I also noticed that when you give your consultancy, I remember the other day we were talking and you were looking at which panels to be put and how they should be sustainable, how they should be green enough and good for the environment. I suppose, Kunal, this combination of design, technology and sustainability is very important. If you don't give it a thought, it is not going to go ahead. Can you just brief in how you look at these aspects?
Yeah. So basically what we do, ultimately we always try to work as per the client budget. Okay. And we always try to provide some values to his project so that, they can save up something in CapEx, that is a capital expenditure of the project. And the most important part is the OpEx, because like CapEx is a one-time investment and operating expenditure is for a life.
Right.
Okay. And if we are providing them some energy saving option, which is like, can save up at least 10% of their OpEx cost, then, in like 15 years or 20 years, it's a huge amount, maybe in crores. In that much saving, you can set up a new plant. Okay.
Right.
So the services what we provide in our project is like, firstly, if client has a sufficient budget, we provide them a building management solution. Okay. So that is a BMS solution or EMS solution, energy monitoring system. So which can optimize your energy consumption. And let's say if in any room the operation is not going on or it is at rest, it will cut off the energy, the HVAC system, the electrical things, the lighting things. So that way your energy can be saved up. Okay, in addition to that, the designing what we do, the system what we design, it is as per the latest engineering trend, so like it can save up your energy in every phase. Again, for one of the project in Saudi Arabia, we have given them a complete solar based PV system solution, that too double metering. Okay. So in that particular project, we have given them a 2 megawatt solar panel solution. So like 50% of their plant requirement is being utilized by the solar. Okay. And even if like, let's say if they are exceeding the energy generated by solar is more, then it's a dual metering. They can even supply to the grid, and that energy has been used by the other people. So, such kind of thing we keep giving, in our project, we always emphasize on a green design. We provide a 35 to 40% green area, even if in some countries, there is not a mandatory law that it is it has to given by 35% or 40% of Greenland. But we emphasize, we tell people how much it is important. So that way we always prefer to provide a sustainable solution. Rainwater harvesting is something what we educate our client. ETP, STP.
Yeah.
So even if like some countries they don't like, so ETP is like effluent treatment plant and sewage treatment plant. So in India, I think very few client they keep such things, but we emphasize that you cannot pollute your environment or your mother earth. So for that we emphasize them that you should keep ETP, STP. So that way whatever our level best we can do to save the environment, we always do.
Yes. And that is a fabulous step, as I've always appreciated you for that. When you are looking at all these new techniques, technology, solutions that the market is providing, how do you think you are keeping your team up to the mark in researching or knowing more products?
For that particular thing, even myself and I always give this opportunity to my colleague also to visit the exhibitions. Okay.
Yes.
See, we are in Mumbai and we have two big exhibition center. One is a Geo-Conventional Center and one is a Bombay Exhibition Center. And like, every month there are multiple exhibition. Sometime engineering, sometime plastic, sometime architectural things.
Yes.
So sometime lab exhibition. So whenever I get any notification from my suppliers that we are presenting or we are having a booth in the exhibition, I always give this opportunity to my team to visit them and learn new trend of designing or a new trend of engineering. And I tell them that whatever thing you learn, you try to implement this in our project. If somewhere we can save up the cost. And again, this will help them to connect them with the supplier, because like by sitting at office, they will be speaking to many of the supplier, but until and unless the supplier come to office and meet them, they doesn't know who's Harshil or who's Sairam or who's Gurudas. So when these people go there, they meet them, they discuss, they exchange gifts, then they talk about the project, what is the update of this project. So I think this is the best platform, and I always try to take the utilize this opportunity, and I always keep visiting many exhibitions.
Great. It is again very important to note that once you are into a firm and you're working in an office, you are stressed. You are from morning 9 to evening ka pata nahi kab khatam hoga office hour. Everybody is stressed, but there needs to be the managing team who looks at the well-being of the students also. So somewhere the firms that give you a holistic grooming and look for your benefit ahead is what I feel is most needed. And
Indeed.
I know when you have to send your students, there is a lot of work that you see pending कि उनको आके करना है. बट आई सपोज कृणाल, ये बिलोंगिंगनेस एक आ जाती है
Of course.
और उन्हें भी ये लगता है कि हाँ मुझे सीखने भेजा है लेकिन मुझे वो करके देना है. तो काफ़ी टाइम पे दे आर द वंस हु आर टेलिंग नो नो आई वॉन्ट टेक दिस हॉलीडे, पॉसिबली आई हैव टू वर्क. मैं आ जाता हूँ, भले ही आप बोलो कि आज छुट्टी है और मत. आई एम श्योर यू मस्ट हैव गॉट द.
Yes. So I always tell that work is a never-ending activity for me, or for any other person also. So whenever there is a work, I tell my team that आपको ये चीज़ करना है. I have given them a laptop also, that it's okay if you are working from home, and that flexibility I have given, that if they have any personal work or any like medical emergency, so I have told them just inform me through WhatsApp that sir, today I am taking work from home, and I know that if we have assigned a work, you will do it. Okay. So this my entire team, I'm so blessed and I'm so lucky to have such a young team, and they are so much mature, so much responsible. They know what to do, when to do, how to do. So even if they are working from home, even if it is Saturday, Sunday, they do their level best, and they always tend to follow their timeline, and they make sure that, whatever debt or whatever work they commit,
Yes. This is all because of your efforts that you are doing for them, Krunal. It is always a give and take. Then we don't have to go the extra mile
Right.
to, tell them or just discipline them or give them. They know what it is. And you have brought that love for the work that they are doing. I suppose when I see my students working in such firms, I really feel happy that they have gone in the right direction, because majority of our time goes working. And
Right.
if we are not able to enjoy what we are doing with passion, then it will take a toll on you. It is something where you feel frustrated with what you are doing, which shouldn't happen. And you are equally responsible for making them so comfortable and giving them that, the wings where they can fly high with you.
Yes.
Truly, truly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Truly.
So in our office, we have made that environment, you can see in our office, we don't have any CCTV camera. Okay. So even if I'm free, I will never, we as a transparent glass, but I will never see or watch, what my teammate is doing. They are okay to do whatever they have. If they have a free time, they can even scroll on Instagram or whatever they think they like. Okay. And I never personally tell them that, okay, why you are scrolling or why you are not working, because they know their responsibility.
Yes.
And, we have a kept, very young and energetic environment in the office. So in Friday, we keep Funky Friday, wherein they have liberty to wear whatever they want. Otherwise, we have a dress code of a wearing formal thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So on Friday, they can wear whatever they want. Then sometime, we play board games. We order outside food. In board game, people enjoy playing this thing, different board games. Like we have this thing, this monodale game. Then we have another game exploring kittles. So they like playing this game, and it's like we director also join them. Okay.
Fantastic.
And that way we can do mazak कर लेते हैं हम
बिल्कुल
लोग ऐसे।
कृणाल, आपका मेल बॉक्स भर जाने वाला है रिक्वेस्ट से और बच्चों के पोर्टफोलियो से. आई एम श्योर ऑफ दैट. सो आई थिंक a holistic way of working is what you have achieved, and there is, I can't see why, or I would rather say I know why from 2019 शुरू की हुई company got converted into a private limited in just a span of 3 years,
Yeah.
2 years and 3 years. It is absolutely creditable, and this approach of yours is going to take you to humongous heights, I'm sure. This is not only you that you're looking at growth, it is that
Right.
the entire community that you feel should reach a level. And somewhere I really get connected to people with such wavelengths, because eventually in academics we look for the same thing. We
Right.
want to see every student, because as I said, when you're saying Harshil and you're keeping him at a pedestal right now, I won't say Harshil was a very, gold medalist student. He was an average
Ordinary person.
ordinary student who was striving, who was struggling in his initial years, who was trying to work, who was, absolutely struggling. And average marks leke aage बढ़ा. He got some medical issues in the in between, तो उसकी वजह से academics he has to. So बहुत सारे hurdles के साथ he has moved. And I'm glad to take his name and example right now, because आज जो हर्षिल पहुंचा है, जिस मकाम पे पहुंचा, जिस पे आप उन्हें लेके गए हो, that was possible because of that inbuilt quality in him, which you gave a chance to explore. So on this note, thank you very much for being here. Krunal, I'm sure you must have ignited that belief and confidence in innumerable young minds today. Thank you so much. Absolutely.
Actually, the credit goes to you as well, because, whenever I discuss with the Harshil, he always tells me, how good you are, how good principal you are, you are not act as a principal, you act as their friend, you connect them often, you meet them, and the way you came to my office to understand what we are doing, the interview you are taking for the student. I haven't seen, the other principal doing such activities. So I really appreciate your way of working. And I must say, your college is very lucky, and your students are so much lucky to have a principal like you. Because I know when I was in diploma, that time, like, in 3 years of span, I have seen my principal for a 10 time, not more than that. But you are always around.
Yeah, it is somewhere. That's why I said that same wavelength, because somewhere we get so involved with our team, which are our students and faculty, that we cannot go beyond. We cannot look at ourselves as an individual person.
Very
Helps. So on the note and hope that we bring these small changes and give certain platforms to young students, I would.
the platform which we never got. Or, we are always striving to
Yeah.
get such platforms. So, we try to provide that platform to young generation. In interview, I never ask about anything about academic, because it's like a pulling their leg, because we know how they have passed, So it doesn't make sense, asking stupid question. But,
Well, we will have another podcast on this, what they did in their academics.
Yes, of course.
Right. So thank you very much for being here again.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving your valuable time, and thank you so much for taking this interview.
Yes.